Okay, on next one, let's take a look at parallel routes. Okay, that's the interesting one. Parallel routes that you can render one or more pages within the same layout. So in order to do that, we need to have our folder name start with the @ For example, here we can get like @analytics and @team, and we're gonna put these two. So when we put the on in front of folder, it's gonna be a slot, and we put the slot on the layout. As you can see here, team analytics. It gonna shows here. If that's on the layout on the roots, right, it gonna shows there anyway. Like whatever your page you change to, it's gonna be here forever. So let's take a look at on my example. So I make the example here, and let's go into the layout page on layout on the root. So we have a team and an analytics. Here we just import it, and we have defined these two pages. So on analytics, it shows analytics page with the @ and the team. We have a team page with the @ to identify this as belong to the slot, two slots. So on the layout here, that we have that, and on the page. On the page, we just say I'm a home page because this is a home page. Okay, let's just look at that. Okay, like we are on home page now, and we have two slots here. We have @team, @analytics, because we have imported here. It's like a placeholder. Okay, so, and I also have a folder called settings. Let's say on settings, we have like a setting layouts, and on the settings page, we have I'm a setting page. Okay, so on home page, if I add a link here, link of go to settings. Okay, if I click go to settings, that's gonna render here. These two, right? Like layout and the page. And what about these two? What about these two? Are they gonna stay same, or they're gonna change to different, or they are just not showing? So, okay. So let me just take a screen. Just take a cropped here, crop it, then we can compare. So if I hit go to setting, okay. Okay, we are on setting page, so that on setting layout, which we have previously defined here, on setting layout, and because we are on setting page, so we are on the I'm a setting page here. These two that highlighted is part of setting. Okay, so on the third line, it changed. It's a previously, you can see it's settings here, right? And like if you can previously, we can on the third line saying I am at team page. But on settings, it says I am team settings. Let's take a look. Let's say teams setting. As you can see, we have another settings here. It get matched when we have that settings by the link. By this link, we got setting. This part get matched. This part get matched. You can see I'm a setting. I'm a team setting. That's a setting inside the team. So on layout here, it's not showing. It's not showing teams anymore. It's showing the setting inside the team, inside this slot. So it's like it have a state. It's a state of setting that got matched. And then let's see the fourth line is the analytics page. analytics page on the previous, it doesn't change because it doesn't have settings. It doesn't have settings folder, so it didn't got matched. So let's clear that. Let's make that clear. And currently, right, we are on settings. So we have this settings folder. We have settings data, layout, and page inform on top 2 lines. And we have a theme and analytics. Because on the theme, it have different state like settings. So it match the settings here. It shows like I am a theme setting, and on the analytics log, because it doesn't have settings here, so it just remain the previous state. As you can see here from document. Okay, active state and navigation. If we do the soft navigation like we did, we use the link to direct to different route, and it will perform partial render on the sub page within the slot. Like sub page that we did is like we have that's the setting inside the themes. It's gonna be rendered within the slot. And while maintaining the other slot active sub page, even it doesn't match the current URL. Like this analytics, it doesn't match the settings because it doesn't have settings folder under analytics, so it just remain the previous state. And like, what if we gonna do the hard navigation? Like if we're gonna reload full page, like refreshing browser, and because Next.js cannot determine the active state for slot that doesn't match like this. If we refresh that, and Next.js cannot determine the active state for the slot, it doesn't determine the analytics page slot here. So it's gonna use default.js default file to render to take the place of the slot. So let's take a screenshot of here setting. So I'm gonna refresh this page, like hard refresh. As you can see here, it's different result. First line and second line, let's see. First line same, second line same, third line same, and fourth line is different. Fourth line we used like before we refresh, it showed analytics page, but now it showed analytics default because Next.js they can't determine the slot state now, so use like default here. Use the default slot. Use default to fill in the slot. You can see here. It shows here. It shows I am analytics defaults. It used the default file here to put in the slot. Put in this slot here. So let me just show you again. Okay, we are home page here, like we are on home page, and then we have 2 slots here. Okay, it's default because that is on home. They're gonna have default page. Okay, then we go to settings. Okay, that's gonna be setting layout, setting page, and the theme here we're gonna render this setting. That's gonna replace the slot here, and analytics that gonna remain the previous state because it doesn't have settings folder in analytics, so it just keep previous state in the slot. So when we refresh that, okay, so it doesn't have previous state in slot, so it's gonna use default. Okay, that's it for parallel routes.